We're here at the iconic circuit of Monza to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Assetto Corsa Competizione. With long straights and heavy braking zones, Monza is always capable of providing a true racing spectacle, as well as some carnage thanks to its multiple chicanes. Last time out we were at Spa for the Coach Dave Academy 12 Hours of Spa, the event that the RLM car was able to dominate. One battle that raged on early was the battle between the 63 Grasser Lamborghini and the Butler Pal Ferrari, until an unfortunate crash led to the Ferrari dropping down the list. Eau Rouge proved to be as eventful as ever, with cars looking to see who was the bravest around the infamous corner, with Lucas Rommel making multiple moves at this section throughout the entire race. As the race wore on, clear leads began to emerge throughout the grid. The Bentley's proven to be a strong car later on. On a comeback was the 547 Ferrari, working its way up the order after a setback early on. All RLM cars had a very strong showing throughout the duration of the 12 hours, as did the majority of the Lamborghinis throughout the grid. Still carving their way through the pack was the 547 Ferrari, almost within the top 10 around sunset. The Butler Pal Ferrari struggled to match the pace of the Grasser and RLM cars, with it running a bit further down the order as the hours went on. Trouble struck for one of the RLM cars late in the race as connection issues plagued them. Many cars were still getting mixed up at Eau Rouge as the hours went on as well. Lexus seemed to be coming back to life in the cooler conditions of the race, as did some of the Aston Martins. As the final few laps were completed, it was clear that the RLM car was unstoppable, bar a true disaster occurring, as they crossed the line in first place after 12 hours of hard racing. Looking at the 50 car strong grid today, there are many notable names and faces throughout the field. However, the Vanguard car is always one you should expect near the front. After issues forcing them to skip the 12 hours of Spa last time out, they'll be fueled with a desire to win this event. Jaguar is a car that's not raced too often in Assetto Corsa these days. However, if there's one track it can do well at, it's Monza. Moto Domet community are here to wave the flag for the British marquee, where they'll be looking to take a win in one of the least popular cars on the grid today. Despite being dominant in sprint races, the Porsche seems to be less valued as an endurance racer. Only 2 teams running the current generation of vehicle and one in the old 911. Despite this, the car can prove to be a quick vehicle if drivers are able to stay on top of it for 4 hours straight. BMW didn't have a single car present in the previous race, though they arrive at Monza with a group of 3 cars. Leading the way for the brand in the Pro class is Kim Furu, a well-known racer within the GZR community and a proven sprint race winner from the league's races gone by. Can he finally get an endurance race win? Ferrari was the car to go for last time, and it is the desired choice once again. With 15 of the Italian cars once again racing today, they are likely to be amongst the front runners due to the amount of them racing. However, with the previous race winner sitting this event out, he will take the mantle to be the number 1 Ferrari. You can't have Ferrari without Lamborghini. Simax arrived with a raging bull to aim for another win after taking victory at the Kyalami 6 hours some time ago. With only a total of 2 Lamborghinis present though, it doesn't seem to be the favoured car amongst those on the grid today. Can it prove them wrong? Only 1 Nissan was racing at the 12 hours of Spa, though there are now a total of 3 for the Monza 4 hours, with 1 present in each of the classes. Czech Navy looks to have a solid lineup to challenge for the Pro-Am victory. Can the other 2 help make it a win in each of the classes for the Japanese brand? The Bentley arrives in strong numbers today, making the British boat amongst the favourites of the drivers, particularly in the lower classes of the field, with teams such as the Esport Performance Racing team driving in this car today, being expected to see the car fighting for overall victory. Audi was not a popular car at Spa, and neither is it popular here, with only 1 being represented on the grid today. BMW, Porsche and Mercedes all have more cars present. However, can this car take the fight to its mid-engine rivals and prove to be the best for Monza? And finally, we have the Lexus. With only 2 examples present today, both in the amateur class, it's another car that isn't so favoured by the drivers. However, if rain is to fall on the circuit, you can be sure to see that the Lexus drivers will be making the most of its abilities in wet weather. There have been a number of practice sessions hosted throughout the week leading up to this race, which gives drivers the chance to try out their setups, see the times of rival drivers and ensure that they are up to speed with the driver swap procedures. Despite the fact that they were practice sessions, some drivers were showing off their desire to just go and get racing, with many small battles playing out over the duration of the practice sessions. Some drivers also were able to get to know one another before the races even started, on and off the track. Drivers were keen to find the limits of their cars early on, which was evident throughout the sessions, with a lot of mistakes appearing, which many hope won't be happening during the race. Turn 1 at Monza always causes some damage, and that was also the case during these tests. The Scari chicane also caught out some of the drivers, not only on the entry, but on the exit as well. As the light faded, we got an idea of how stunning this race would look as it heads into the night. And with all the practices complete, there is only the race left to go. Good evening everybody, we're here for the start of what will be, I'm sure, a spectacular event, the Coach Dave Academy 4 Hours of Monza. I'm your main commentator, Louis Muir, joined by Jonathan Fosbrook. He's turned up on time, he's here to help us. Hello John.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure where Oscar went today, but we are here for another race, another Coach Dave Academy race, in fact. This is the 4 Hours of Monza. So we have been here, I believe it was a week or two ago, on either public lobby races or one of the Thursday races
Public lobbies.
with the GZR. It was public lobby. That went interestingly, let's say. The drivers in that lobby managed to have a bit of contact, and I say a bit, I mean a lot, before the first corner. We didn't even need that. So hopefully we won't have any kind of repeats of that driving today. Otherwise we may end up seeing some sort of red flag and a restart. But hopefully the driving will stay clean, and we will have some decent entertainment.
Yep, we can hope. So we've got about 5 minutes now before the start of the formation lap anyway. So here we go. Yep, the session's just switched about to switch across now. So we've got a 5-minute wait period. We'll switch that quickly. And then in no time, we'll be underway. We're going to have a quick fly over to the grid so you can see all 50 cars, I believe, are present with us here. Look at that. Monster grid, full of top-notch quality. The top 22 cars were split by 1 second, Jonathan. 22 cars by 1 second. That's just insane, isn't it?
That is indeed absolutely insane. And the grid is 50 cars, am I correct?
Yep.
50 cars, Pro Class, Pro-Am Class, and Am Class. So that's quite a few different classes of drivers. And considering that not all of those drivers in the top 22 are pros, considering they're all within a second of each other on their fastest lap through qualifying, that is an absolutely incredible grid we have today.
Indeed it is. And to take us for a quick lap around the circuit, we have the Cymax's own driver, Niels van der Kokel. Unfortunately, he can't race with us today. He was set to race in Lamborghini. However, he can't, but either way, we can enjoy his lap. So we'll be back with you in a minute.
Welcome everybody, my name is Niels van der Koekelt. I'm a driver for Sidemax Motorworks, and today I will take you for a lap around Monza, the Temple of Speed. So across the start-finish line we go, very long straight onto the first chicane. You can reach speeds up to 280 kilometers an hour. So brake at the 150 point. It's heavy on the brakes, nice and tidy over those curves. You do not want to be in the inside there. because you'll get launched over the curbs. Then early on the throttle onto the Curva Grande, the very fast right-hander. As we almost come up to the second chicane. Now a little bit later than 150. You do not want to be late on the brakes there because there are very high sausages. Take all of the exit curb and then onto Lesmo 1. Back into 3, hug the inside curb and then use all of the AstroTurf on the outside. There's a lot of time to be gained there. Lesmo 2, shift back into 2. Again, use all of the AstroTurf on the outside. That's when we make our approach to Ascari. Again, a very long straight. We go underneath the old track. Now shift back into 2. Nice and tidy over the curbs. Be careful of the sausages on the right side. Nice and tidy. Good exit there on our final approach to the infamous Parabolica corner. Now shortly back into 2, quick back up to 3. You really want to get a good exit there, especially in a battle with someone, to make sure you can position yourself to make the overtake into turn 1. Well, that was the lap of Monza. Thank you very much for watching, and
that was a lap around the Monza circuit, as Niels called it, the Temple of Speed. We hope you enjoyed that lap, as we are here still waiting for the start of the race. So whilst we wait, we're just going to have a quick look, a little glance around our free camera for the grid. As we can see, Mercedes is they've locked out the first 4 positions here. We have, I can't remember his name now, already forgotten, but we have the Fordzilla car in P1, followed by the N2O Mercedes in P2. P3, we have the Esports Performance Racing Team Mercedes and the Cymax Pro-Am entry, so the highest of the Pro-Am entries there in P4 with Sam Cairns. P5, the first of the Ferraris, that's the not professional racing one, I believe. Hang on, let me actually get my list up so I can see. If you give me 1 second, apologies. There we go. Connect. There we go. Now continuing on, we'll bring up the HUD as well so we can see a bit easier. P7 then is, P6 sorry, we have Jose Llamas in the Vanguard Mercedes. P7 the Griffax Engineering Bentley, the first of the Bentleys as well, starting with Jens Kaiser. P8 the first of the Lamborghinis with Zachary Royale. P9 we have Owen Wellock and another Mercedes, and P10 we have Big Rob Taplin. Also, quick note, we have the best of the Jaguars and the only Jaguar there in P11. We have the best of the Nissans in 15th. And the best of the BMWs all the way down in 26th and 25th. And then also the best of the Porsches is even further back in 34th, and the best of the Lexuses, with them only being 2 AMs, down here in 37th, and the only Audi in the entire grid down in 43rd. So it's quite a confusing grid, to be honest, John. We're used to seeing Audis and Porsches near the front, however they're pretty far down.
Well, of course, Monza is a fast track, and the reason most people go for the Mercedes, of course, is because of its brute force straight line speed. It is an absolute monster in the straights, and of course, Monza is mostly straight lines.
Oh, Shindu says game crash number 94 rip. Has Zach's game crashed already? Oh no. Where's Zach?
That did not take long.
Did not, is it? Zachary Royale. I think, unfortunately, it's true. I can't click on Zach, so we have lost Zachary Royale. He's meant to be there in front of Owen Wenlock. So that's not a good start. It does promote Owen Wenlock up a position, I suppose. However, again, not a good start for this race, and we've lost 1 driver on the formation lap. Oh dear. However, we continue on, so it's a long, well, it feels like a long time, especially when you go in this slow. It's mostly straights for Monza, so plenty of room for these drivers to get weaving, build up the pressures in their cars. Thought my game had frozen then for a second as well, the curse of the freeze hitting us all, but for now we're going on, so that's always good. So we've got to wait still for turn 1 at Monza. That's going to be the real challenge, isn't it, John?
Indeed, it is. Now, just having a look through this track guide we've got. Now, there is a link in the Twitch chat for you there. Just having a look through some of the liveries that we've got on the grid, and there are some very, very nice looking liveries. I tell
Vanguard
you what,
Mercedes.
I do quite like the B&B Racing liveries quite a bit.
Yeah,
The
they look
Vanguard
good.
Mercedes that you mentioned does look good as well.
Yeah, big fan of the B&B cars there. We've got one in 36th and the other one in 28 with Barack starting in that car. Like, these done quite well there, that purple Mercedes just at the back. The Vanguard car we were on about then is Jose Llamas in P6 currently. Again, Mercedes, really strong cars here. We also have the Czech Republic with Pavlicek starting that black and yellow Nissan. That stands out from a mile. So we've been informed as well Zachary Royale, after initially qualifying in P8, he will unfortunately have to start from the pit lane due to a technical issue. So not what he wants for the start of this race, but again, it's 4 hours, John. Plenty of time for him to bring it back, isn't there?
Of course, and we have seen Zach's racing fast racer. He's definitely no slouch, so I expect him to be gaining throughout the race a few positions, while they will be starting a lap down.
Oh, Yana as well. Yana, so we have 2 cars down from the pit lane as they all start to speed up now. So they'll be coming around, ready to start this 4-hour event. As we're here, coming up to the parabolic at the final corner on Monza. It's going to be a good overtaking opportunity, this. Who is going to mess up? I think that's what's everybody's minds here. Who is going to be the one that could potentially ruin this for everybody?
Well, unfortunately,
Oh, John's died already. Good start.
there-
Oh,
oh,
you alright?
hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Yes, I'm here. Brilliant. Now, of course, there is a good chance that that could happen with someone messing up, someone crashing, and potentially half the grid being taken out, as we have seen previously. But let's hope that that doesn't happen today, and we have some nice, clean racing, so we can have 4 hours of competitive racing. Of
As
course,
we
the light
go.
has gone green, and they are off.
Yep, we've got Darren King getting a good start there, just edging the N2O car to the inside. So the N2O black Mercedes has the inside. Sam Cairns right on the back of that Mercedes. As they're coming out into the braking zone, this is the squeeze zone. We see a Ferrari on the grass already. These Mercedes going through side by side. They've made it through. How about the cars behind us? No, P2 got spun. P2 got spun. Marco Ricci spun. Sam Cairns, the
The
Vanguard car,
grid
got
is
caught up in that.
getting backed up. There's quite a few cars just sort of bumping each other as the entire grid sort of grounds to a halt there. A little bit of bumping here and there, and there's a Mercedes at the back, a white Mercedes that has been spun round. I'm not quite sure who that is. Then there's a purple Ferrari. Who was that?
Well, I'm not sure we've jumped away.
That was D Long in the number 37, just dropping down the grid, just in the gravel trap. So quite a few cars going off, being spun, and similar throughout the back of the grid. But of course, that's not all the action, because we do have D King and Owen Wenlock up in P1 and P2. So that does mean the Sidemax Mercedes
Owen?
has gained 2 positions.
Owen was set to start in P9 and he's got up to
Hang on.
P2.
Really?
Yep. So Owen's
that
been a
means-
huge benefactor from that, hasn't he? From that turn 1 confusion. Owen has found himself moving up. Well, he ended up starting P8 because of Zach, but he's ended up finding himself a lot further ahead. Sam Cairns as well in the other Mercedes, not too far behind. We see also Sebastian, or Jens Kaiser even. Jens Kaiser is battling for P4 here. He's got the outside line. He's got one of the esports performance Mercedes right behind him. He's got it up into P4 now, so this is a good start for Jens Kaiser. And Sam Cairns is the next car looking to get past that esport performance Mercedes just up ahead. Now the Mercedes has a really good top speed, so Jens will have to go defensive here coming into the first chicane. As we see the slipstream working wonders for that Mercedes. Sam Cairns coming up behind now. He's not going to go to the outside, is he? Nope, he thinks better of it. He tucks back in behind. He's got to be careful. He's got Dominic Tower there in the Mercedes. Oh, not Dominic. It is Dominic. Sorry, yeah, Dominic Tower in the Jaguar, the only Jaguar of the grid, right behind him. So it's been an exciting first lap, to be honest, hasn't it? It's really thrown a lot of the orders up in the air for these drivers. We've got people everywhere. One of the Porsches there looking to do quite well just in the background. And Marco Ricci after starting in P2, is down in around 23rd, 24th currently, and he's found himself in the mid-pack, where it's probably the most dangerous to be, John.
Indeed. Now the mid-pack, of course, that's going to bunch up quite a bit. And I've just swapped my camera. The few of the cars going into the second chicane, slowing down quite a lot, and some drivers not quite anticipating the slow-moving traffic, sort of bumping into each other, just like at the very first corner of the race, where some drivers aren't quite expecting the grid to suddenly stop on track. Now, of course, that's always likely to happen with people making mistakes and people trying to go 3-4 wide into corners. But again, that's going to damage the cars. That's going to damage your front splitters. It's going to damage rear diffusers, and that's going to affect people driving. And that is a Bentley, I think it is.
Yeah, bit of a Bentley on the Ascari chicane, right in the middle. What an awful place to be. It's such a fast chicane. He's got going though. It seems everybody managed to survive, making it through. And there's one of the Porsches. That Porsche is making excellent ground at the minute. As we see, oh, the Bentley's taken out another car, one of the Ferraris now. Oh, I can't see who that is, unfortunately. It's not updated properly. But we have just lost one of the Ferraris there into the wall. And there's the Porsche into 24th currently. There's one of the purple Ferraris, and yeah, they're going at it, aren't they? You wouldn't think, as one of the commentators say, you would not expect this to be a 4-hour endurance race, would you, Jonathan?
No, well, it is a 4-hour race.
Oh, sorry.
At the minute,
yeah.
Some of the drivers are driving very aggressively, and as if it's just a 1-hour sprint race versus a 4-hour endurance race at the minute. And of course, it's not about who's quickest in an endurance race like this. It's about who can survive the longest and who can be the most consistent.
Certainly is. As we're coming through, then we've got one of the Mercedes here, currently fighting the way for up. So one of the Ferraris, sorry, in 24th now. This is the red and yellow one here, the Team MSB car. And just look at that train, John. It just goes on and on and on, doesn't it?
Indeed, it does. You've just got cars bumper to bumper, nose to tail, all the way through. And of course, everyone's going to be trying to battle and get past each other, and they're all just going to be holding each other up. So as soon as a car, of course, comes up to another car in front and they try to get past, that car's going to defend, and then of course the person behind is going to go slower.
Owen Wenlock
for the person behind them to overtake, of course. And Owen Wenlock, go ahead.
Yeah, Owen Wenlock's managed to go and get himself a load of damage, and he's been passed by the Bentley of Jens Kaiser. So we're not sure what happens with Owen there. He was in P2. Now he's had Tarek Gamel and Jens Kaiser both get passed, and he's got the eSport Performance team car just behind him in 602. Sam Cairns, though, he's still fighting thereabouts. He's got the Jaguar now right on his rear wing. The Jaguar's got the inside then coming into turn 1. Is he going to be able to make the most of this, though? We can see the big Nissan as well of the eSport Performance Racing team. Owen having to shortcut the chicane there just to avoid any contact, so he'll compromise himself just to make it fair. And Dominic Tower is now losing out to that big Nissan. Nissan, of course, one of the top cars in a straight line. But he's managed to hold on. Further down, we've still got all these cars tripping over one another. Many, many cars again. We've still got, how many cars? 49 cars, potentially. Yep, 49 cars. And Zachary Royale, who started from the pit lane. I can't even find him. Is he in the lobby still? Michael, that's something for Michael to find out for me. Is Zachary Royale still racing? Because I can't find his car. I'm probably just being blind. I hope I am.
No, I did check this, and on lap 2.
Oh, 94 DNF. No. And Amato thinks that, in his opinion, that Darren King will get a drive-through soon. Darren King ahead by nearly 3 seconds now, so he's plain sailing away. Owen Wenlock, though, he's just about holding on to P4 now. He might be getting into that rhythm, so that damage will, of course, be compromising him. However, he's managing to make the most of it now. And he's got to survive for another 52 minutes before he can even think about pit stopping.
Now, looking through the replays, just to have a look where Owen may have gained some damage. I do believe he may have gained that in lap 1 with all the contact, as of course he's made it from he made it from P9 where he started all the way to P2. So he may have gained some damage while getting past people in the carnage.
Oh, there's been another crash. Owen Wellock and one of the eSport Performance teams racing Mercedes. Owen taking huge damage there. Flies straight into the wall. His bonnet looks destroyed. He's just sat still. Is he going to DNF? He's carrying on, but he's got to go and do a full lap now with what I assume will be severe damage. I'm not sure what's happened there, but this race is getting worse now. Owen looking to have one of the best, probably the best start, bar Darren King there, going from 8th to 2nd. Now dropping down the order with a lot of damage, and he won't be able to come back from that very easily, will he?
Yeah, no, that was of course quite painful to watch. There's no one as entertaining as sometimes crashes can be. We all love those crash compilations on the internet. In a race like this, it's not what you want to see. To be fair, I do feel like it's probably worse to have a crash towards the end of a race than near the start, because of course then you've had otherwise, well, if you've had the crash at the start, you've had the disappointment at the start. It's out of the way. Your race can't really get much worse other than maybe a DNF. Which in a way I feel could potentially be, it is somewhat demoralizing for drivers, of course, but over time it then also they can get their hopes up as they progress through the grid.
Yeah, so we're just going to have a quick glance to see where Owen Wenlock has dropped down to now. I can't even find him at the minute on my little screen here. Owen Wenlock, there he is, 31st, and he's still not even back at the pits. 30 seconds, so he's dropping like a fly. He's just an easy target, isn't he, for all of these cars to just gobble up. And he's going to
Of course,
lose
now
the best
just
part of
to
the line.
quickly switch to P12, currently about to overtake P11. So Van der Velde is overtaking, or side by side now, with Taplin as they go into the first corner, and he has made the pass. Let's see if he can stick with the pass out of the first chicane, and it looks like he has stuck it and got P11.
Of course, and now Rob Taplin is under attack from that Hot Wheels looking Mercedes just behind. Coming into the second chicane, it's going to be an ideal position for that Mercedes to bomb, but he thinks better of it. He knows, again, it's a long race. There's no need to go and press too hard, is there, early on? If you're quicker, you'll probably make the move in due time. Further up,
Of
we have
course.
this.
Oh,
We'll say we
I
have
was
a.
going to mention the P13 Mercedes of Alex Leif. It's a Mercedes, of course, so it is potentially going to catch up with that Ferrari in front. But at the minute, it does look like he has fallen behind, so he's potentially made a mistake somewhere, possibly in one of the corners, as the Ferrari is generally better handling than a Mercedes.
Yeah, well, as well, the Mercedes, they have the fuel save, so they could be running on map 1 currently, which will make really quick. That's how they generally get pole on here with their map 1, but they can only do that for so long, and then they're going to have to switch to a slower map to save that fuel and make sure that they don't burn out too fast. And that's going to be key to them actually finishing the race. As we see here, look at them cars going 3 wide there. Coming into the Parabolica, we've got one there, the Rubber Bandit Racing Ferrari dropping backwards, allowing Rumble Jensen to get through. I'm not sure if they were a back marker or not. Jose Yamas in the Mercedes there as well, looking to get around the outside. I do think that's a back marker, but look at this, a nice little train here, all trying to get the slipstreams. However, Alex Leaf in that Mercedes will have that benefit of map on as the Ferraris are moving a bit, trying to find a way past. Fabio Fanni there, he's later on the brakes than the Ferrari on his left, but the other one's looking to go around the outside. A bit of a tap on his rear bumper, but they get away unscathed and carry on racing. Dominic Tower as well is getting close to the back of Sam Cairns. Sam Cairns currently leading the Pro-Am category, so this really isn't a battle he needs to bother with. His next competitor is one of the Bentleys down in P8, this one here, the big purple Rookie Monsters one. So as long as he can stay ahead of those, he's alright. However, Dominic Tower, maybe he's just trying to stay ahead for bragging rights, and racing is racing. Got one of the only remaining Lamborghini then just up ahead. Unfortunately, we did have the DNF for the number 94 Lamborghini, and just behind there we have Alex Leaf making a position from a back marker. Never mind, that's one of the Ferraris that we saw get taken out early on in the race as well. We have Kim Furu in one of the BMWs just leading this little charge here. against, we've got, well, one of the few Nissans and the Ram Racing Mercedes there just behind us well. So they're running pretty close in their own little battle pack. But the main one is here. We've got Rob Taplin and his Ferrari. He's right behind that yellow Lamborghini, and well, he's lifting off there surprisingly. So maybe he's trying to save fuel for some bizarre reason. And Owens received the stop and go 30 seconds, John. So that's Owen basically dropped out. That's gonna, well, with all the damage, that's gonna look, basically he's lost a lap already, hasn't he? With all the lap and the penalty, that's a whole lap gone for him. We see one of the Nissans there, Albon Bokeh, shortcutting the chicane, and now he's gonna get probably gobbled up by the big Bentley, the two biggest cars on track arguably here, just missing the BMW and Lexus I'd say, but the Bentley looking to hold it around the outside through the Curva de Grande, can't make it, but can it be later on the brakes coming into the second chicane? It's a risky spot, but it can be done. As there as well, we see Dominic Tower going side by side with Sam Cairns, and he's made it past. Further behind, Albon Bokeh cutting the corner again and actually gaining considerably from that. So that's something that race control may look at, is, you know, if Albon doesn't give up the time he's just gained there, because he's managed to just hold that position from that move, race control may be a bit upset with that.
Indeed. Now, looking through the grid, the closest two cars are currently Sam Cairns and Dominic Tower. In fact, Tower has managed to get past Sam in the last sector. So he has managed to make an overtake somewhere along there. And currently along the back straight, heading to the last corner. I don't have a track map up, so...
Parabolica.
To the Parabolica, there we go.
Yeah, one of the moves being made now for P9. Tinko van der Velde going down the inside of one of the big Bentleys. Look at the size difference between these two cars. This is the hashtag Team Tinko, one of the pro entries, making a move there, gaining a position now into P9. And next up ahead is another Bentley. So a lot of the Bentleys running quite well so far. And the Mercedes, again, of course, running really well. We have Louis here in the Esport Performance Racing Team Mercedes, the 602, now locked onto the back of Sam Cairns' Mercedes, who himself, Sam, has not really backed off on the back of that Jaguar yet, has he?
Indeed, he hasn't. Now, I believe there may have been a little bit of a tap, a little bit of contact through the chicane there. But of course, you can see Sam is really trying to find a way past that Jaguar in front, just from the way he's weaving in and out. But he's also got to try and defend from the Planken in the car behind the number 602 Esports Performance Racing Team Mercedes.
One car then. One car that doesn't seem to be
fallen back.
Pardon?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say one car who doesn't seem to be doing too well so far is the Jose Llamas. Down in 16th, I was expecting a bit more from them, and the car ahead of them, Fabio, is actually lapping quicker, and the car behind them is lapping a bit slower, so they've got a bit of a middle ground for now. But look at that up ahead, there's a big battle group here. We've got Rob Taplin right in the middle of it, trying to, well, the Ferraris are trying to find their way past this big Bentley here. This is a battle for the Pro-Am. We have Sam Cairns leading the Pro-Am, and then we have Hinsai and another Pro-Am, and then this big group of the Pro-Am cars as well. And what's interesting about this is we see, one of the Bentleys there, jumping across Lorenzo Portier in the Team Franglish Bentley. He loses out massively there, and Rob Taplin now going defensive in his Ferrari against the Mercedes. Oh, that's a Lamborghini even. Oh, there's so many cars, John.
Indeed, there are. Now that Mercedes of Yamas, the number 753, at the start of the race, I believe that is one of the Mercedes which was spun in the first chicane.
Yes, you're right actually, I think it was, wasn't it? Oh yeah, he got caught up, so that could explain why he's a bit off the pace. And further down, we see one of the Porsches already leaving the pits, so not a good start for that Porsche. The Bentley then looking to get back against Rubel Jensen here. They're going to go side by side for the chicane. Got to watch out, those curbs can really unsettle the car and throw you off into the car that you don't intend to hit. So the Ferrari is going again. He's put on the outside though by that Bentley having the slightest bit of overlap, and that will allow the Bentley to get around the corner quicker. He's got a shorter distance. That brings him back into contention here for the second chicane, with the Ferrari though holding the inside line. He should be able to just about hold on to it. Yeah, Roman Jensen there holding on barely as there's a bit of contact. Roman actually gets punted off the track there, and the Bentley races on. Is he going to receive a penalty then for that and, you know, not lifting off?
That is a very good question. He very may well receive a penalty. Of course, at the minute, I don't currently have access to give an insight in towards penalties. Actually, no, yes, I do. I do have a link. I didn't even need to ask Michael for that. So I can have a look at some of the incidents which have happened. So I'll just have a
Marvellous.
look through them for you.
Well, the Vanguard car is up to 15th, and its next victim is that Franglish Bentley again. And just under attack now is, oh my god, that name, Vincenzo. And look at that huge train of cars there. We're almost 20 minutes in, and they are not letting each other get away easily, are they? As we see the Ferrari there looking to go around the outside of the IPD Mercedes, the big chrome car. Also, John, I've noticed it's starting to cloud over. It's classed as cloudy now, the
Indeed, it
weather,
is.
and you can see visually it's becoming overcast. Can we see rain this time? We didn't see any rain at Spa, and we saw an ungodly amount of rain at Silverstone. Will we get a nice middle ground here?
We may well. In fact, this could be the hat trick we were looking for. Of course, throughout Spa, with it being overcast, we did expect it to at some point rain with the way the weather was going. However, it never got to that point. And Silverstone, of course, throughout the night was just torrential. I mean, typical UK weather. Although this could be interesting to see, especially if it does rain later on, as we will be able to see the strategies of each team and each car come together, see how they manage with the rain.
Well, it seems that Owen Wenlock has also DNF'd already after his unfortunate start. So, we're down
Well,
to
I'm having a
supporting one
look
car.
at the minute. Yeah. Well, actually, no. We are now back up. We are still up to 2 because Zachary Royal is in fact racing. He's currently in last position, 4 laps down from the leader.
Ooh.
Although he is currently racing. So while we did have that DNF, it does seem like that team has joined back, and they are going to fight. They're not going down without a fight. They're not going quietly. They're still going to give it their all, and that's what we like to see, regardless of how bad your race is going. A team that can fight, even if they're not doing well, is a good team.
Always is. As we see then, another two big beasts battling away, the big BMW and the big Nissan. Going at it here, coming up to the Parabolica. Who is going to have the brakes? The inside line is for the BMW there. We have Kim Furu. He's a proven race winner. We've seen him previously in GZR seasons, often racing a Porsche, I'm pretty certain. This time going in a BMW with his last minute teammate Tim Troke. They are in the Pro class against this Pro-Am entry from the Czech Navy Nissan. Now this team as well, Czech Navy, they also raced the Nissan last time out at Spa, so they'll have a bit more knowledge of how the car works. But can't quite make the move yet, as we see some cars going side by side there. One of the Esport Performance Racing Team Bentleys having a bit of a come together with one of the Porsches who we saw leaving the pits earlier on. That was a back marker, and that is not a good back marker.
Indeed. Now, I'm just having a look through the grid, and at the minute we do seem to have a bit of a battle going on between, I believe that is Bouquet and Verplanken for P6. They're currently side by side, in fact, as they head down towards the Ascari chicane.
These two are teammates as well, John, so they're going to want to be extra careful here, because if they take each other out, that's going to, they're going to have a bit of an awkward team meeting, aren't they, after this? But the Nissan goes through. I'm not sure. I think the Nissan was actually initially ahead of the Mercedes. Now the Mercedes is under attack from the Bentley behind, so he could actually lose another position here, and that's because that Mercedes and Bentley, Mercedes and Nissan even hadn't sorted out their little squirrel coming in to the Ascari chicane, but the Mercedes has been able to hold on for now. Though the Bentley of Hinside will be looking to get the cutback. He's tucking into the slipstream, and now he's just got to wait all the way along the start finish straight. You can see that Bentley clawing up to the back of that Mercedes. It looks like it will rain, John. That's getting really cloudy, isn't it?
Indeed it is. Now, I'm just having a look at the weather on my screen. Now, it's still showing it's cloudy and sunny, at the minute for the forecast, so I don't think it's updated for me. So I'll have to see what I can do about that to see if we can get a bit of an insight. Actually, it has now updated. It's currently showing cloudy for the next half an hour as well. So it could indeed be likely that we may get rain. So we'll have to see if Keelan starts doing the rain dance in the chat. Oh, just had a bit of contact, in fact. Bit of contact first, chicane. There's a Bentley sideways. That is P24 Bentley there. Yikes.
Jan
So
Krauter there.
Bentley got tapped around. Yeah, there's a Mercedes that's just stopped on the track as well.
So we've got as well, Keelan's doing his rain dance again. He wants there to be rain once more. But again, we don't have rain just yet, but it does look like there might be.
Yeah, indeed. Keelan may be in luck this time with the rain dance. But we haven't needed rain yet to cause crashes because there have been plenty of collisions and plenty of action already.
Yeah, look at this massive train here from P26. We've got Nathan there, and one of the old Porsches, who's actually a back marker, I believe. So actually, that makes it even more confusing. The Porsche there, that little green one at the front, that's a back marker down in 42nd place. And there's all of these cars, there's a massive swarm of cars just behind, trying to find their own way through here. And that Porsche's holding them up a bit. They're a bit of a cork in a bottle, aren't they?
Indeed, they are. Now, well, there's in fact a little bit of I would call that a truly train. Of course, the F1 fans would get that
I'm not an F1
reference.
fan, so I don't.
No, well, there was a F1 driver. I don't know his first name, but named something truly. Not sure which car he was driving, but it was a slow car, but he was a fast driver, and he would be able to hold up the grid and keep his position. And this is what we're seeing here.
Indeed, we can see Zachary Royal in his Lamborghini there as well. So he's, as you said, pretty much last after not being able to start until 3 laps down. But he's got going, and I think that's a car. If they just persevere, we will see them getting up for the order. Sam Cairns now is in P5 and he's caught back up to the car of Dominic Taurer as we've just received a follow. Thank you, by the way, those who are giving us follows today. Be sure to leave us a follow. It really helps. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into this, and it shows that everybody is enjoying what they see. But going back to the race after our little preacher, Sam Cairns, maybe I think he might have just got his tyres turned on now, John, as he's catching up to that Jaguar. The Jag, of course, not the best on tyre wear, with it being an older platform and not really the ideal platform compared to the Mercedes around here.
Now, I'm just having a look at the incidents we've had so far. Now, we had near the start, we had the number 2 Lexus given a stop and go, a 10-second stop and go for causing 2 collisions at the start. Then the next penalty was another stop and go for car 501 for rear-ending 261. Now, there have been a few racing incidents which have been determined through a few incidents as well. And then car 601 was told to give a position back to car 999 for gaining a position off track.
Yep. I've just jumped down here to P33, so on the number 2 Lexus, and we can just see a bunch of penalties there. The number 2 Lexus with a stop and go 10 seconds. They've pitted now to serve it, as does the BMW just behind there. I've lost them already.
No, in fact, car 18, that is a new penalty which has just been recorded, or for lap 3, in fact.
Yep, so a lot of stop and goes being handed out there. And, you know, this will be one of the key things. The race winners are going to be the ones who can keep out of trouble and not really receive penalties. Last time, for the Spa 12 hours, we had the RLM car, the 193. They, for about 12 hours, did not receive a single penalty, John. Not one. After 12 hours, that's just mental. And that's what a lot of teams will be looking to recreate today, won't they? That perfect run. There's Alban Bokeh here, so he's managed to lose out to Hinsai. Hinsai is currently on a mad charge. As oh my god, I think they've all disconnected or lagged. I'm not sure. Did the server die, John?
I think the server may have just died because I have also lost connection to
Wait.
the now I think this race has just gone in the same direction as the SRO races now.
That's a fantastic
Um,
start.
Indeed, it really is. We had an absolutely brilliant 30 minutes of some pretty interesting racing, to say the very least, and quite a bit of action throughout. We only lost one car through that. I believe that was in fact the 95 Mercedes, the Sidemax 95 Mercedes. Um,
That's a
yeah,
shambles, as they call it.
yeah. Keelan with a very good point. Actually, no, sorry, not Keelan. Josie makes games. Sorry. We're only 30 minutes in, and it could have been 30 minutes remaining. At which point, that would be, I'd arguably say potentially worse. Um, Especially if you've been racing for so long, and then suddenly something like this happens. That is a good question. What happens now? Now we will try and find that out for you all. At the minute, we're just sort of stuck looking at a blank um, screen there. It says Sparko on it. Um, I think that, yeah, one of the dot matrix advertisement boards there.
Yeah, we're just going to switch
I
across
think that,
quickly to another screen. Hopefully, we can get back going again soon. We just have to see what the team for GZR say. There's a lot of F's being entered in the chat currently, both on Twitch and on the Discord, so not ideal at all. Keep an eye on that. We've still had no response from Michael so far. Nope.
yeah, I think this is definitely a Keelan face kind of moment here.
Really whipping out Keelan.
Dorito Plays says we should start again with the 4 hours. Um, Still more F's. There's an F for Kunos there.
Yeah, I think this is
Um,
one of those issues as well, though, where you can't really make anyone happy. Some people want to start 3 hours, some people want to start 4 hours, 4.5 hours, some people just say reschedule. You know what I mean? It's really difficult to please people now, isn't it? With when you get these kind of variables in. So we've not really had this issue before. However, we didn't have this issue with the Spa for Silverstone, Kyalami, or the other Spa race. But yeah, Rain saying on one hand the restart would benefit the ones who had trouble on the other hand, people like us will lose 4 positions. And Keelan saying at least people can scran their food stress free. That's true.
Even if it's a pot noodle.
I haven't even got any food. It's tragic for me.
See, I'm being healthy for once, which is a bit of a surprise. I've got a banana.
Oh, I had an apple earlier on. Didn't even finish it. I think I
Oh.
ended up going cooking my
Well,
beans and
five a
noodles.
days in chat. Make sure you're getting your fruit in your quarantine and all. Um, in fact, for UK, the on Monday the lockdown rules are changing again, and we can now meet up to 6 people,
Oh, it's more than you
providing we're
have and
still
friends,
social
so you'll be
distancing.
fine.
Yeah, I just need I've got VR, so I'm fine.
VR clubbing with John. Having a
Hang on
wild
a minute.
time. We still not had any
Definitely.
response though from the organisers. I'm sure they're all working hard. We can see got Michael and his little team of cronies working away, trying to figure out what to do here. Again, it's really difficult to think, to decide a good middle ground for everyone. Do you restart? What would you go, John? I'd say a complete restart would be pleasant, to be honest, so we can watch all those amazing battles once again. And people asking about the damage will be reset. Indeed, it will. Also, Zachary Royale won't have to start 3 laps down anymore, will he?
Uh,
So,
in fact, well, yeah, that's the question now. Will we actually do a full restart, or will we just do 3 or 3.5 hours of the race based on the results, well, the positions that were in the race at the time of the crash?
and
I'm
James,
not
by the
sure if
way,
they're able to pull those.
James says,
Go
well,
ahead.
this is going to be unfair for anyone without damage or incident. And of course, James, you could see it that way, but then those people who got damages could say, well, it's unfair on me because, you know, maybe it wasn't their fault and they got hit. So it's again, it's a middle ground. You can't obviously add all the damage back. It resets the slate, I guess. Please rejoin as normal. So there we go. Everyone on the stream, rejoin as normal. The first driver first, okay? I think it's going to be a full restart. We're going to do the full 4 hours. Full 4 hours, boys. We're back on. Hopefully the stream will last longer than half. I mean, not the stream. The race will last longer than half an hour.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed. Hopefully, we don't end up jinxing it, and yeah, hopefully we can get a full 4 hours of action. In fact, I see this as a benefit because now we and well, everyone in the chat or everyone watching along at home, now gets to see an extra half an hour of racing.
Haley's saying we need a face cam. People don't want to see my hideous smoke Haley. So it's going to be a no
Or
from
my
that.
horrendous haircut.
Oh, my hair's mad. You know when you picked me up from uni? It's not quite that
Yeah.
long yet, but it's getting there. I think a few more weeks and it'll be at that stage once again.
My hair's already there. It's beyond that.
I had a haircut
Now
like a week or
I
two
think we
before thingy.
probably could do. We probably could do at some point a studio kind of thing, but of course that depends how things go in the future.
So here we go, back into the lobby now. Everyone wishing each other good luck. So we're gonna have to wait for the whole 50 cars. We've got 45 in, so we're only missing a couple cars now. Who is going to be the 46? Let's see. Can we shorten it and start in positions we were in at the last point? We know all the positions. See, I think that would be way too much issue, wouldn't it, as well? Too much effort. So again, a lot of people are having, you know, it does again throw a load of issues up in the air. This is what I said, John. No one can really be happy, can they? You know, it crashes. Some people want to do the full 4 hours. Some people want to do 3.5 hours, and so on. There's no real win. I mean, there's a win for us, means we get to watch more racing, but
Indeed, it does. But of course, it is disappointing for some of those drivers who were quite far up the grid and doing quite well as well. But we do have 27 minutes of free practice. I assume they're going to change that straight to race as soon as all 50 cars do get back into the lobby.
yeah, we're missing 3 more.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on 3 more cars, and as soon as those cars are in, I do believe we will have the free practice skipped, so we'll be able to go straight into the race, have a quick lap, and yeah. No, I do agree with Keelan there. Nothing wrong with being in a club, and clubs are gonna be shut for a very long time because you can't socially distance in a club. Okay, you can't say you don't want to go clubbing when you've not been for months at this point. Can't go wrong with it. Now, anyway, back to the racing because that is what we're
Did
here
your
to
little
see.
preach there on clubbing. Did you enjoy that? Up to 47, so we're still waiting on 3 more people. We've got, again, the big grid here. 48, 2 people. Who's going to be the last one? I think we should throw eggs and tyres at the last person to turn off for making us wait. 49, who's going to be last? Ooh.
No pressure.
I wonder if Owen Wenlock is going to be starting again, actually. Does he get to have a second life? He does. So he's back. Still on 49 cars, waiting on one person, whoever you are, please. We just want to race.
Now, the instant report sheet has also just been wiped blank, so we can confirm it is definitely a full 4-hour restart, clean slate. And again, still waiting for that last driver to arrive. Question is, who is that last driver?
Trying to rejoin. I think it's T Gamil. He's saying in the Discord chat that he's trying to rejoin now. So not too bad. Lobby taking a while to load. So once he's in, we've gone down to 48 cars now. Someone is trying to upset us by leaving.
It's probably Keelan with his rain dancers.
Mathis asking if we're skipping the training. So it's currently free practice. We'll be skipping free practice at the end. We just need to wait. So start order is joining order. Yep. So the start order. So it's the drivers that join, Josie. So when drivers sign up for the event, they'll put the order that they want their drivers on. For example, for us, we had Owen Wenlock as the first driver. So that means he's the starting driver. So he has to join the lobby first. Once he's in and properly in the lobby, then everybody else can join. and that kind of minimises any issues that happen in the game. As we saw, the game crash. It's not the most stable currently, unfortunately, so we have to take those kind of measures just to minimise any potential issues. Niels was also making a good point. Michael, sorry, he said, why are people making plans during the event and all that? The event's never run on time. That's a fair point. The Spa event was half an hour late, was it, due to issues with the game?
Of course, now technical issues can always take effect, even in real world races, and not just in races. We saw earlier on in the week with SpaceX, they just weren't able to launch their new shuttle, the Dragon, into space due to the weather. And just like here as well, we are not on time, of course, due to a game crash. Now we've seen it with SRO events. Seen it with other events as well, and of course you've always got to leave that extra bit of time before the event and after the event just in case something happens as a bit of a contingency.
I can hear a car out of track actually. I'm going to hunt down that car. Who is it?
I believe it is a BMW.
BMW. I could hear it. There it is. Thank you to that brave BMW for doing some laps for us. Give us something other than skies to look at. And actually, that's interesting. It looked like it was going to rain, didn't it? I wonder if that's going to change now. Will
That is a good question. Now
it
at
be
the minute
raining?
it is cloudy and overcast. It could be raining at the start. It might end up being completely sunny. But we will have to wait to find out, and we will find out
50 cars.
in
50
any
cars.
minute now, in fact.
There we go.
I was
Right,
about to
so
say in up to 20 minutes, but any minute we will now switch to the race.
yep. As we've got the Simtech Motorsport, we know what, we'll go on board then for a lap with the BMW. There's no Niels van der Kokel voiceover, unfortunately, but we do have the bubbly sound of the BMW. And when I say bubbly, just listen to the downshifts, the bubble wrap popping. There we go. Oh, nice. So yeah, all 50 cars have entered, so any moment now we should be getting the restart at last, which is what we want. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Hopefully they'll switch across soon enough. And Rain saying massive rip for P3. Indeed, Rain, this means you can recreate your Fabia crashing nature at the start of the race, or I'll get Jens to. Cody saying, sorry guys, didn't see your response earlier. What happened with the Bathurst Cup? Fortunately, I'll have to DM you about it, Cody, in a bit. But for now, we've just got some nice little driving content from the number 69 BMW. It's actually not too bad of a livery. Ooh. Oh, the BMW is pitting though, which to be fair makes sense. You are limited to 3 tyre sets for this race, John. So they've just gone out and actually worn down a few of their 4 of their tyres there, or one of the sets. And that will come back for them in the race later on.
Well, that will either be the set that they start on or one of the sets that they change to then, considering that they are in fact limited. Question is, are we going to start any moment, or are we going to be waiting for that 20 minutes?
Well, if they don't return, it's close to the track. I'm not sure what we're waiting for though, to be honest. Again, I think it could just be waiting for all the drivers to actually pile into the lobby. Because
Indeed. Now, seeing as we are waiting, should we go and recap people with the track guide from Niels? Now, of course, it will be fresh in the memory of most of you guys, considering it was only about half an hour, 40 minutes ago. I think we should give that another play.
Yep.
Just as a quick recap before the race.
Here we go then. On board with 7 driver Niels van der Kokel. Enjoy the lap.
Welcome everybody, my name is Niels van der Koekelt. I'm a driver for Sidemax Motorworks, and today I will take you for a lap around Monza, the temple of speed. So across the start-finish line we go, very long straight onto the first chicane. You can reach speeds up to 280 kilometers an hour. So brake at the 150 point. It's heavy on the brakes, nice and tidy over those curves. You do not want to be in the inside there, because you'll get launched over the curbs. And early on the throttle onto the Curva Grande, the very fast right-hander. As we almost come up to the second chicane. Now a little bit later than 150. You do not want to be late on the brakes there, because there are very high sausages. Take all of the exit curb and then onto Lesmo 1. Back into 3, hug the inside curb, and then use all of the AssetTurf on the outside. There's a lot of time to be gained there. Lesmo 2, shift back into 2. Again, use all of the AssetTurf on the outside. That's when we make our approach to Ascari. Again, a very long straight. We go underneath the old track. Now shift back into 2. Nice and tidy over the curbs. Be careful of the sausages on the right side. Nice and tidy. Good exit there on our final approach to the infamous Parabolica corner. Now shortly back into 2. Quick back up to 3. You really want to get a good exit there, especially in a battle with someone, to make sure you can position yourself to make the overtake into turn 1. Well, that was the lap of Monza. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the race.
And we're back just in time for the countdown of the race. 4 minutes to go until we do everything that we did once again. We got to, I think it's 34 minutes into the race previously, John. Hopefully we can beat that target this time. And for those asking about the 3 hours, there's been a lot of drivers requesting that we do 3 hours instead of 4 hours, because they've made plans and 3.5 hours. There has there's been a kind of there's a reason behind it, and that is any team who signed up with 4 drivers just can't race properly. If you've got 4 drivers, you're gonna have to do another pit, because the game forces you to use all drivers if you've got all 4 drivers signed up. If you've got signed up with 3 and only 2 turn up, then you're gonna get a DQ, I believe. So those teams that have their 4 drivers would have to do 4 stints in a 3-hour race, and it's really unfair on them. So that is the reason why we are sticking with a 4-hour event.
Now that of course does make a lot of sense, and Race Control have said they don't really have any idea why the server crashed before. They don't have any errors in the error logs that they've checked. So interesting.
And also we have a word there from one of the Race Control saying if the server crashes again, the race will be cancelled. So we really hope that doesn't occur. Now, John, I'm going to leave you in the lovely company of the viewers. I'm going to quickly run to the toilet. Everyone, try and stay awake while John talks to you. I'll be right back.
Mic off.
That was just rude. But yeah, I mean, there's some speculation in the game chat that it could potentially be Kunos restarting the main server so it's clear for the SRO race, perhaps. I'm not sure if the chat is trying to troll me here with my. Oh wait, no, that'd be Louis' microphone, which is turned off. Sorry, because of course he does have the Corsa voice turned on, so it will say mic off, mic on, that kind of thing, or battery low, which is always fun on a stream. Now, of course, I can't really look through the grid from Louis' PC because we are about 60 miles away from each other. But what I can do is discuss the grid. Now, we do have King and Ricci in on the first row in P1 and P2, both in Mercedes. Again, we have 2 more Mercedes on the second row, with Plankton and Sam Cairns, of course, the first of the Pro-Am cars. We then have a Ferrari and a Mercedes of Gamil and Yamas, both of those Pro again. The next row is Jens Kaiser and Zachary Royal in the Lamborghini, and then behind them is Owen Wenlock and Taplin. Taplin being the second of the Pro-Am drivers. Now, further down the grid, it would be really helpful if my game would work here, but oh well, never. That's nothing wrong with that.
Mic on.
I'm back. Hello.
So,
So, we're
hello.
here. Just under a minute to go then, John.
Race starts again. I mean, I'm feeling a deja vu here. Question is, will we see just as much carnage this time round as we saw last time?
I know. Well, people have had the first go, so will they take it a bit more careful this time? Let's hope so. The drivers there, 30 seconds remaining. Marco Ricci is back into P2. We saw him earlier on. He actually lost quite a lot of ground, didn't he, straight away? And Ryan asking what numbers are the Cymax drivers? So we always have 90, so we're 93, 94 and 95. We wanted the 96, that's the number I always have personally. But one of the Ferraris stole it and I'm really upset. I'm going to shame them actually for stealing my number. Where are they? Down in 33rd, making my number look bad, Ryan. Not having it. By the way, Marco Ricci, he's gained massively from that, going back up to P2. So that's really helpful for him because we saw him get spun round into turn 1. As we go now, here we are, Darren King starting off once again. He's not been driving for a while, so he'll be happy to get going once again, won't he, John?
Indeed, he will. Now, of course, the leaders just leaving now, ready for the outlap, of course. And go. All drivers now setting off.
Yeah, we're going to see this huge queue of drivers once again, won't we now? All coming through slowly for their formation lap once more. They did this just around an hour ago.
Indeed, they did. Now, just back of the grid, just now starting to set off as well. Front of the grid, in fact, heading up to the first Lesmo, is that? Or is that the second
No,
corner?
come on to the second chicane,
That's
John.
the second corner.
The Lesmos, ways off. This is
Lesmo's, yeah,
Curva di
my
Grande.
bad. I was trying to work out where they were.
Yeah, they are working their way around, aren't they? Ever so slowly, getting there, getting there. Again, so I feel like, well, it'll be agonisingly slow this one, after how fast they were going earlier on. Now they've just got to cruise round insanely slow, haven't they?
Indeed, they do. So, of course, we've got to try and keep the tyres warm as well. So, we would see a little bit of weaving here and there from some of the drivers. Now, weaving doesn't actually benefit the tyres that much. It is, of course, the cornering and the braking at high speeds that puts the wear and the pressure onto the tyres, putting the heat into them, of course. But again, drivers will still weave because, of course, it makes you feel like a racing driver.
Yeah, it does. It feels cool, doesn't it? I feel like you're actually doing something.
Indeed.
There we are with the full 50 grid again. We see there's quite a lot of AM entries to this as well, but they were putting on a good race. You know, we can't doubt the AM drivers, can we? They always do a good fight. Here we go. As Cody says, he missed the start, so he's excited to see this one. And there we go. Anyone who missed the start initially, they get to see it again. And hopefully we'll have just as exciting start. Also, we can see that it's not as cloudy this time, is it, John? Not yet anyway.
No. Well, it's currently quite sunny. So we'll have to see if it starts to go overcast later on. And then maybe even rain, because we're still looking for that hat trick with the good weather, the really bad weather, and that middle ground as well.
Indeed. They'll start to pick up pace now, the drivers. They will be forming up in the Noah's Ark 2x2 formation any moment now, won't they? Or is the initial start? What initial start? This is the start, says Griffin Meek. I'm assuming he's joking because he knows what's happened. Turn 1 though, we're going to have a bunch of crashing, that's for sure, as people have noticed. Bring out the crashed Fabio again as we receive another follower just in time, thank you. Ooh, Tidge78, I believe that's one of Keelan's friends from GT Sport, I think anyway. Here we go, John. They're getting up side by side. for attempt 2 at the Monza. Coach Dave Academy, 4 hours of Monza.
Indeed,
Mercedes.
straight into that Noah's Ark formation. Mercedes locking out the first 2 rows, split up by a Ferrari in P5 and then another Mercedes in P6.
Yeah, we'll go on board with, you know what, we'll go on board with Marco Ricci. We saw him have a bit of an incident last time, didn't he? With, I think, Darren King. And that dropped him down massively. He's starting in P2 and he has the inside line. That's a huge benefit for him. So this will be a tense moment for these. They want to get it right this time, don't they? Hopefully no one crashes. Hopefully Housie remembers to brake. Here we go. Any second now, there we go. Green light and they're away. And Sam Cairns gets an excellent start right straight onto the back of Marco Ricci. Marco Ricci struggling already. He's under attack from the eSport Performance Racing Team Mercedes. They're not going to go free and wide, are they already? We can see Darren King's away. Marco Ricci swerving a bit on the track. Coming into the braking zone. Can Marco Ricci hold it around the outside? He has a bit of contact with Darren King there. Sam Cairns has kept it alive, but he's lost a position to Tarek Gamil, to the Mercedes there, and we see the Jose Llamas car having a bit of a battle early on with one of the Ferraris. Further down the
One
order,
of the Bentleys at the back has just been spun onto the grass. In fact, there's a little bit of carnage at the very back of the grid, of course. Cars all over the place, a few of them in the gravel as well. So, of course, as expected, there was still some T1 carnage. However, it was mainly the back of
oh, there's more in the mid
rather
pack though.
than...
Through the second chicane, we see some of the Bentleys and cars, people going free wide into the Lesmos. They are clearly pushing for it, thinking that every position counts. This early on, they don't. Then drivers need to get that into their heads, don't they, early as possible. That Lamborghini there, swerving everywhere on the track, trying to defend and pick a place, you know, and that's the worst thing to do this early on, isn't it? You just need to pick a position and keep hold of it, and you want to just survive. That's more important than anything, it's just surviving. Does it come?
It is now looking at the mid-pack. So like P15 there on your screen. Just behind, you can just see an absolute sea of bright colours and cars flying down the track. And
oh, there's another crash.
That'd be an incredible sight.
There's another crash there. The 848 Mercedes. Oh, that's the yep, not the 848.
That was one of the B&B Racing Mercedes there.
Yeah, it was. Davy Betton's getting caught up with a Porsche. The only Audi on the grid there in the wall, having an awful start. But going back to the front, we have the Graphics Engineering car down in P7. It's chomping right onto the back of P6 already. That Vanguard Mercedes. He's been forced to the outside. He's going to go around the outside. He's late on the brakes. Can he pull it round? He does indeed. Jens Kaiser. Oh, goes a bit too deep though, across the curb.
Some collision there. Sam has spun on the first chicane. I believe Owen Wenlock there has just gone straight to avoid a collision, but then just been tapped wide by the Jaguar of Tower there. So again, quite a lot of action, quite a bit of contact as well through the first couple of corners. So quite a lot of action. It's still only lap 2 again.
Oh, Hinsai there, punting the back of a Ferrari. Yep, and Hinsai punting the back of a Ferrari there. The Ferrari trying to go defensive into Lesmo 1 now. He manages to hold on just about, but that Ferrari will have a bit of damage, and that could potentially be a small penalty for Hinsai. However, he's now under pressure from the big Nissan there of Alban Bokeh, one of the front runners last time out at Spa. So he's going to be no walk in the park to defend from. Further through, we see all the cars piling round onto the straight now, under the bridge, coming up to the Ascari chicane. A lot of cars defending already, and there's no need, again, as we said multiple times, to really try and fight this hard yet. It's a long race, isn't it? There's plenty of time for things to change for these drivers. They just need to wait and hope those around them make mistakes and then push.
Indeed.
Further down the order,
again, as we mentioned,
go on.
As we mentioned earlier on, before we had the restart, of course, a lot of drivers, again in this after the restart as well, are still driving. Some of them are still driving as if it is just a 1 hour sprint race. Now it's 4 hours, of course. It's all about consistency and not crashing, because crashing, even though it's this early on, even though there's a few hours to go,
Oh, Craig's
crash to crash, and that's still going to lose some time there. Craig being a legend there hosting the stream. Now, we have had a couple of follows there in the last minute or two as well, I think.
Yep, thank you very much to
Um,
those giving us the follow. You're here for the race, the second attempt of the Monza 4 hours. I think it's been, I'd say at the front especially anyway, cleaner so far. We have Louis for the Esport Performance Racing team, the 602 Mercedes battling with Tarek Gamil. Gamil moving up from 5th, I believe, up into 3rd now. One of those moves, I think, was on Owen Wenlock, not Owen Wenlock, sorry, Sam Cairns, who is down currently. I can't even see him properly. I'm probably just glancing over him. Can you see Sam? Where's Sam? Sam Cairns is down in 23rd. He's been caught up. There's going to be another huge crash. Oh, what's gone on
I've just
there?
caught the
There's
back of
cars are
that.
just sliding off everywhere. What's gone on there? That was a
That
weird.
is some carnage that you just caught there on stream as well then. I just caught the end of it on my screen as I switched over. That's not what you want to be seeing. Cars losing position like that. And of course this Lexus here has got to be careful out of BMW as they've got the rejoin. But again, cars all over the track. As you'd
Yep.
expect in a race, right?
So
Quite a
that'll
few
be
battles
really
going on as well.
frustrating a few drivers against Sam. We're not sure what happened to Sam. We just saw him caught up in that incident somehow at the second chicane. We don't know if he's been punted or he's spun it again. Either way, not an ideal start for him. Coming though into the first chicane, we've got Jose Llamas on a real charge here. He's behind P4, the 602 Mercedes, and just behind is Jens Kaiser, again on a stomping charge currently, isn't he? We saw him getting up to P3, I believe, before, and he's now in P6, so he's not quite there, but you know, I think it'll only be a matter of time until he's back at that door. Further down, we've got the Lamborghini, the TPC Sim Racing Lamborghini, cutting off the nose of Fabio's Ferrari there, showing that he's the dominant Italian car at the Italian circuit. And Albon Bokeh going for a late lunge there on the Ferrari. He's just has a bit of overlap. The Ferrari has to take avoiding action. That's forced the Ferrari to compromise his exit and allowing Albon Bokeh to come alongside for the first Lesmo. Can't make a move there, and now he's got to watch out because just behind is one of the Bentleys. This is the thing, John. You make a move, you can slow yourself down, and you allow the car behind, don't you, to get closer.
Of course, I did mention this earlier on with my rather terrible explanation, but of course when you're trying to overtake the drivers, we can see there just then on the screen, in fact we can see it here as well, we have Owen Wenlock who's trying to get past that Bentley, but if he can't get past, he's opening the door for the Ferrari, as we just saw on the screen, to get past. And now it's going to be a case of, if that Ferrari can't get past the Bentley, Owen could very well get the position back.
Yeah, and we see Albon Bokeh there just a bit further behind as well, making a move on the Ferrari. Can he hold it around the outside? He's got the overlap, but he's running wide. He's got to watch out for that huge sausage curve there. He's got off the track, so that could get him a track warning as well. And he's going to lose a position potentially to the Bentley there. He's going to pick up a load of marbles, and they're having a drag race now. These two big beasts, one a twin turbo V6, the other a twin turbo V8. And the Bentley looks to have the grunt currently in the straight line, but the Nissan's coming back. It's got the later end of the top speed. The Bentley has the inside though, and the Nissan has a Ferrari ahead. The Nissan though is just out braking, I think, but the Bentley's still there, and the Ferrari just a bit further behind, forcing his way through Fabio there. That was a really brave move. He gets spun slightly and corrected, and comes back across, collects the Mercedes there of Alex Life, who's in a wall. That's an awful start for him. It wasn't any fault of his own. He just got caught up there from Fabio, and I think we can expect a penalty for Fabio for causing that incident.
Indeed we can. Now, I believe there are currently about 8 reports which have now come in since the start of the race, and we are only on lap 4. And we've already got about 8 reports come in, so we're just waiting for steward outcomes to come through, and then we will find out quite what happened. Well, who gets the penalty or what. Now, in fact, it does look like we may be about to get the result for the first one of those. So, indeed we have, and that was a racing incident between car 970 and car 981.
Oh, clean move there for the number 16. We see Cinco Verdeveld going around the Ascari chicane around the outside to get past the Bentley. Now the Bentley is under attack from Owen Wenlock. Owen Wenlock getting a fresh breath of air there. He's up into, well, he's down, sorry, from into a P11 after starting in 9th. But again, it's a long race, and we spoke to Owen, and he said he was looking to just take his time and move up, which again would have been hard to believe looking at the last race. But maybe last race has helped him correct for this race, I suppose. And Zaccario making moves up into P8. Yep, he's not too far behind. He's catching up to this huge gaggle of cars here. We've got the P4 car of Louis holding up, then Jose Llamas, Jens Kaiser, Dominic Taura, and then Zachary Royal now joining in this little feud here. And Louis, I think it's only a matter of time until he gets past. Feels weird saying Louis because my name's Louis and I don't know anyone else called Louis. Coming into the second chicane then, will Jose Llamas be late on the brakes? It's a risky place to overtake. He thinks better of it, but now he's got to watch out because just behind is Jens Kaiser in the big Bentley, and he'll be getting a better run through there to potentially catch out the Mercedes just up ahead. And further down, we've got Marco Ricci. It's actually being reeled in by Tarek Gamil now, the number 816 Mercedes in P2, and they're also coming across traffic already. So it's not taking too long, has it, for cars to tumble down laps? So coming into the Ascari chicane now, the Ferrari's looking to the outside, too far back to make a move there. He's just got to wait his time out. But further back, again, this train really, they've spread out quite a bit, so they're not close enough to make any moves either. P14, it seems that quite a lot of the cars finding themselves in their own little groups at the minute. We still have no verdict on the Ferrari, the 71 Fabio car, because you see the Bentley now goes for a massive dive down the inside and messes up both cars going off. Fabio comes across, tags the Rookie Monsters Ferrari and spins himself into a wall. Now that could just be a self-induced penalty, some may look at it as. Is he going to do a bad rejoin? He's got to be careful here. Look at that, he's not got a good field of view. He spins it back onto the Ascari chicane, right on the apex. Oh, he gets going without causing too much damage, thankfully. We're coming into turn 1 now. We see Marco Ricci under attack from Tarek Gamil. Now, we spoke about this earlier on, the Mercedes after fuel save, Jonathan. They can't last the whole race on map 1, so they have to go to map 2, and that will compromise their top speed a tiny bit, and that could be what Marco Ricci is experiencing here currently. Under attack then we have Louis. He's got that big, that stunning blue Mercedes, and then a huge Bentley of Jens Kaiser. Look at that coming into view. It's like blocking out the sun. That size, it's huge, that car. But he didn't get too good of an exit, and Jose Llamas did though, so he'll be looking to get past the Mercedes up ahead as soon as possible. He's putting a lot of pressure on, but he hasn't been able to get past just yet. Keelan's also telling Jonathan to check Snapchat, so Jonathan, there you go, check Snapchat please.
Right, okay.
Meow's saying the Bentley's not that huge. Meows, it is huge. You can't tell me that. Look at it, it's massive. But Jose Llamas now getting a much better run than Louis. He's coming onto the back. Is he going to be able to send it into this Ascari chicane? Nope. And this again will ruin his line through here, as now Jens Kaiser might get a better run on the exit. I can't really tell. I think the Mercedes does have a better top speed than the Bentley, so not ideal for Jens. He's still not being able to get past. And Marco Ricci has been able to possibly switch into map 1 and just pull away again. Further down we've got this battle here. We had that Bentley and the Ferrari, both they were near the incident that happened early on with the Fabio Ferrari. There's also Barak there, just in P20, he's second in the AM Championship. That Ferrari is P1 in the AM Championship, so the AM's up into 18th at the minute, so they're doing relatively well so far. Slowly fighting their way up the order, and Sam Cairns, after his issues early on, has got back up to P22, and he is currently locking onto the back of the cars up ahead. He's quicker than all the cars, well, a lot of the cars ahead of him generally, so he's flying at the minute. Speaking of flying, we have Jens Kaiser. Look at it, it's huge. Meow's saying that car's not massive. Meow's is clearly incorrect, as he's getting a good sniff and actually gives Jose a bit of a squeeze and a tap there and settling that Mercedes. That'll probably give both of them a fright, with Jose getting scared of being spun out and Jens, I imagine, getting scared of spinning out or doing the spin. And Dominic Taura there nearly collecting the back of Jens's Bentley, then flying right into the back of him, just about avoids any crash. And nothing scarier than big Jens. in a Boatley, says Keelan. That is correct. You don't want the big German Jens Kaiser behind you. Of course, we have Tinko van der Velde. Look at this massive train here. This is all the way from not quite P3, but P4, all the way down to P9, nearly P10. There's P10, that big purple Bentley in the background. And then Tarek Gamil, he's in this silver and green and black Ferrari. He's caught up again to Marco Ricci, so the gap is ebbing and flowing between these two, and it does seem that Tarek is quicker. As we saw during the Spa 12 hours, it's all good being quicker, but getting the overtake, that's a different ask. It's a lot harder to do as well. As he's coming almost for the cutback there, he can't do it, and now he's going to be in a drag race. He's out of the slipstream, but he's not alongside, so I don't know why he's gone out the slipstream there. You think he'd be following the slipstream of the Mercedes, but he's not so far. They're having to watch out for that back mark of the Porsche, who's taken to the grass to avoid this, and Tarek Gamel hasn't been able to do it. However, Jens Kaiser now is looking to get the inside of Jose Yamas. Can he do it? He's sending it. He looks to get past. He is by, and maybe he will be the one to remove the cork in the bottle. That is Louis up ahead. Niels was able to qualify in 32nd, by the way. John, just a little update there for his SRO event. He's 32nd, so that's a great result for Niels. Congrats, Niels. Best luck with the race. Be sure to jump in later on once you know where you finished. Johnny still alive?
Indeed, I am still alive. Keelan, yeah. I don't know why he wanted me to look at Snapchat for that.
Is that good? Must be riveting then. So, John, what do you think of this battle for P3 currently?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it now. They are quite literally side by side almost. Well, not quite, but they are absolutely both gunning for it. Is that Gamil there?
Yeah, Tarek
P3?
Gamel.
No, it is a battle for P2 actually. Yeah, Ricci and Gamil both fighting for P2. That is incredibly close down the straight. The Ferrari probably getting a little bit of a tow from the Mercedes there. Still nose to tail, so not much has happened, but they are still incredibly close, lapping at incredibly consistent times.
Also, if I can pull your eyes down
Neither
to
of them have
P8,
slipped
John.
up.
Look at this battle here. We have Dominic Taurer. He's currently holding up this other little group now, with Zachary Royal right behind, and Tinko van der Velde and Hinsai catching up. So Zach can't quite get past the Jaguar, and then the Jaguar actually goes defensive, so Zach may be able to make the move. Now, coming into the braking zone for turn 1. He's going alongside, he's passed, I think. Can he pull it around the outside though? Has to be careful not to be squeezed onto the curb. He's going to get a better run, and Dominic Tower actually loses another position, at least one position, potentially another one, so he could drop 3 positions just into the entry of that one chicane. But now though, he's been able to hold on against the big Bentley of Hinsai, but Hin will be in the slipstream, looking to get past any moment now. So that was a disaster of a chicane there for Dominic, though again, a long race, plenty of time for him to bounce back, isn't there?
Of course, there is. Now, still a battle for P2 there, both of them weaving in and out as they go through the second Lesmo. Question is, who now has the better run heading up to the Ascari chicane, as that Ferrari
Oh my god,
is
sorry.
side by side with the Mercedes.
So I just saw Zachary Royal there going sideways around Lesmo 2 as he went side by side around Lesmo 2, as so does Tarek Gamel here through the Ascari chicane, bounce over the curbs, that Ferrari suspension working wonders. He runs slightly wide into the gravel, that's going to compromise his top speed down the straight, but he's just about ahead of the N2 Mercedes there, that carbon black one with the skull and crossbones on. He's got the inside into the Parabolica. That should cement that position for him, shouldn't it? He's later on the brakes, he's got the inside, but now the Mercedes is gonna have the top speed coming back round as that the Ferrari Tarek Gamel goes really shallow there, to be honest. That will really slow him down, won't it? But there's the move for P2.
Well, now the Mercedes still does not. Well, of course, Ricci doesn't want to give up P2, so he's still going for it. He's now on the outside, heading up to the first chicane. Side by side, in fact, into the braking zone. Mercedes just ahead. In fact, Mercedes has got back past, so that does mean that Gamel has not been able to make his overtake stick.
Yeah, but
So the battle continues.
further down, Zach Royale, he's now into 9th. He actually lost the position to Hinsai and the Ferrari of Tinko van der Velde. Dominic Tower, though, down to 12th, so he's toppling down currently in that Jaguar. Probably regretting his decision a tiny bit in that car. But again, it's one that we could see bounce back later on. Now we have to obviously go to the leader. Darren King, 12.5 second lead already. Now pretty much every race we have, John, always just seems to be one car that's dominant. At Kyalami, it was the car with Lucas, Josh and Owen, wasn't it? The Cymax car. Silverstone, it was Niels van der Kokel and his Bentley. They lapped, I think, the entire grid. Spa, the 193 RLM car, lapped the entire grid. And now it's Darren King's Mercedes with Frubo in the Team Fordzilla UK car, 13 seconds ahead now. So
Indeed. Now, Craig has just said Nissan up there. That's good to see. That is in fact a bank marker which has been overtaken by King.
well, there's Nissan 12, so it's not too bad, but
Yeah.
Can we so from look at that train just going on and on. Of course, there are some back markers, but I do love Monza for that because it's quite a relatively short circuit. There's usually a lot of battles going on, isn't there? You see Owen Wenlock there going around the outside of Dominic Towerer, and he's trying to get past the back marker there. That Lexus just up ahead of him. That'll be giving him a tow momentarily, though. Dominic Towerer is also tucked into the slipstream of Owen Wenlock. Owen trying to go around the outside. The Lexus is assumed just lifting off ever so slightly. Dominic, though, looking to go to the inside, and just up ahead we have Zachary Royal as well, trying to go around the outside here of Hinsai. Barging his way through. He's going across the curb. That's going to compromise his exit, and they're having a drag race now. And Zachary Royal has just about made it past there, and Owen Wenlock has just about held on to against Dominic Tower, who's dropped back massively there. Albon Bokeh has been spun or taken out, so that could have something to do with the Jaguar losing places. And Dan Long in the Rookie Monsters Ferrari is under attack currently from the Lamborghini there of Marek Vons, who is now going side by side currently with the Bentleys there from Lorenzo. And that Porsche just behind, that's the back marker. The best placed Porsche, they are... Oh, I don't even know where the best placed Porsche is. There it is, Marcus Noldner. It's the old Porsche, John. In 29th place, an AM car, and it's the old Porsche of all cars. That's something that I never expected to see. So props to them, I suppose. But Jens Kaiser now is on a charge to catch up to the battle for P2. Tarek Gamel and Marco Ricci. Well, Tarek Gamel managed to get back past Marco Ricci at some point. We didn't quite catch that, unfortunately. However, Marco Ricci hasn't allowed him to pull away too far just yet. And Neil's asking us, how's he assassinated somebody yet? We have no clue, though. Again, we can always just assume, can't we? As Owen Wenlock there managed to get past Hinsai and Zachary Royale, so these two Samix cars holding up this big Bentley now. The current leader for the Pro-Am class. His next main rival, really, that he has to worry about is the Lamborghini, just a bit further back. It's a relatively small gap. You can just see that yellow Lamborghini off in the distance. Sam Cairns up to 18th, so he's fighting his way back up. And Burak, he's actually right behind the AM leader. That Ferrari there, that is the lead for AM class, John. So the AM battle's going strong currently, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. It's going very strongly for the AM class. Now, the highest placing AM driver is in fact Aberan Hosa. I've probably said that name quite badly, but that is the number 9 Ferrari in P20.
Yeah, I just call him Michael.
Oh right, okay. that does make things a little bit easier. So Michael there in P20 as the leading AM car. The next leading AM car is Sai in the 999 Bentley. And then, of course, we have King in P1 with the Mercedes.
Did we do? Looking though back to the battle for P3, Marco Ricci. He's keeping up with Tarek Gamel just ahead. Gamel's lap though, his last lap was actually almost just under, sorry. Yes, just under a full second quicker than Marco Ricci's lap. So he is currently the quicker car, and Jens Kaiser, just a bit further back, is also actually a lot quicker than the laps that Marco Ricci set in. Almost a second quicker a lap than Marco Ricci. So Jens is on an absolute charger right now, isn't he? Thank you, by the way, for those who are dropping us follows. Good to have you here. Echo29. I recognise that name. Is that the Echo that I'm thinking of? I don't know if it is. Echo, Lawrence, is that you? Please say hello. So I know. If not, hello for Echo. Hard to tell these days, John. There's so many Echoes hanging around.
I mean, that is generally what happens when you say
Ooh.
something and it reverberates.
Well, what we just caught then was a little inter-team battle between Zachary Royal and Owen Wenlock. Owen and Zach went side by side through the first chicane, and Zach was able to, go around the outside, coming on the exit, and Owen, the Mercedes, very talky car, very easy to slide, gets a massive slide. Just what holds on is the Bentley inside almost flies straight into the back of him, so that was a very hard-mouth moment for Owen there, nearly spinning the car already. And Shindu says, tell Owen to chill, he is slowing us down. Kai's still asking for replays. Kai, I've already told you about the replays. Unfortunately, we can't get the replays without, jumping out of the race. So for now, we're just going to enjoy the main race. Feel free to jump into the game yourself and find the replay if you want, Kai. But P11, Dominic Tower, he's caught up now to Hinsai after that little incident with the Bentley being slowed down ever so slightly by Owen Wenlock. It's allowed Dominic to catch back up, though I don't think he'll have the pace to get past. There's one of the Porsches further back there, gets quite a bit of oversteer. That is a back marker, that Porsche, the number 31, down in 40 something, I think that's what I read. For the big rumbly V8, the British V8 Jaguar catching up to the British V8 Bentley there. One naturally aspirated, one twin turbo. The Jaguar as well, a lot older than the Bentley there. So the Jag would generally be, the Bentley would generally be the better platform. But he's going for the outside, sorry. Hinsai having to go defensive there. Can Dominic Tower hold it around the outside here? They're having a bit of door banging. He's avoided the curb so far, and I think he nearly got past, though he's not had a good exit. The traction that Jag, clearly not the best, and now the Lamborghini of Marek Vos is straight onto the back of this little battle here. There's the Jag, you can just see a glimpse of it on the right hand side of the screen. He's going to be looking to make the most of this current scenario put before him. Coming into the second chicane, then the Jag dive into the inside to try and defend. The Lamborghini will get the better exit though through here. Further up, we have Louis has been passed now by a bunch of cars. Tinko van der Velde has been able to get by. He's dropping down. And Owen Wenlock also is still on the back of Zachary Royale, not giving Zach an easy time whatsoever, is he? Ryan's asking me to say Jaguar again, because Ryan, if those who don't know me, is American, so they say Jaguar, which is incorrect. Oh, Haley's gonna go and get ready for work. Alright, see you later, Haley. Enjoy work.
Indeed, I can agree that the proper way to pronounce it is Jaguar. Now, of course, there are many other words which are not quite pronounced the same across the pond. But again, it's not a topic we need to get into, because of course we are enjoying some absolutely mega racing.
And we know that was alright
as
anyway.
It.
But come around the Parabolica then, we have the Bentley of Lorenzo Portier. He's already received a 5-second penalty, so not a good start for that Bentley. As John, we're just under 30 minutes, 28 minutes in. We're getting to the danger zone now where the server crashed previously, aren't we? As Sam Cairns has managed to go and clock himself
4 minutes away from that.
A stop and go penalty, so that's not going to be good for that car. That's something for you to look into, John. Why has Sam managed to go and get himself a stop and go? We saw a few cars receiving penalties as he dives down the inside of the back marker there. That's one of the B&B racing ones. That's the 848, and he actually goes doing donuts there. I think that was the 848 of Davey. We saw this car as well having a bit of contact early on. And there's another stop and go for Kim Furu, the only pro BMW, down 45th. So Kim Furu also not having too good of a race there. One of Kai's friends. Usually used to seeing Kim near the front, and actually Kai, I'm interested. How come you're not racing with Kim Furu for this? Also, Shindu's telling me to tell Owen to stop diving you. Owen, Shindu, I can't tell Owen to stop diving you. I'm sorry. Since he's probably racing, not listening to me.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to listen. He's not that great at
No,
listening
but also I
anyway.
imagine again he's
Um,
racing, isn't he? As 16th,
yeah, of course.
we have Rummel Jensen has managed to go and get himself a drive-through penalty. So a lot of the penalties now filing through here, so that'll drop him out of the battle for P16 or even 15. P15 there. We have Lorenzo on the back of one of the Ferraris just up ahead. Marek Vons in the TCP Lamborghini's not too far off. The Jaguar
Now,
just up ahead.
I do have a bit of an update regarding penalties. Now, earlier on, car number 848 received a drive-through for a collision. Then, car 193 received a drive-through for two collisions. Then there was a racing incident in the first chicane on lap 3. Um, then there was a 5-second penalty for car 913 for not leaving enough room around the corner. And then two 10-second stop and go penalties for car 46 and car 93. Both of those for dangerous rejoins, and just now a drive through for car 872 for a collision
So
with car 93.
that incident we saw then with Sam in the second chicane earlier, when he must have had a bad rejoin, which I guess kicked off a bit more carnage, unfortunately. That's what I can make out of that. Also, we had Shindu telling us to tell Owen to stop diving. Owen's got past Zachary Royale now, so I wonder if he just pulled off a dive, or Zach just let him pass for, the safety of his own car.
That's a good question. That.
Yep. So, down in P19 we have Alban Bokeh in the Esport Performance Racing Team, the 601 Nissan. He's stuck behind Sam Cairns, and now he doesn't have to do an overtake on Sam. Sam has 3 laps after being handed that penalty to serve the penalty. So if he doesn't serve it within 3 laps, I believe he just gets disqualified. So all this Nissan has to do is not risk anything, wait a few laps, it may slow him down, but it means a free, easy overtake for him, doesn't it? Has the server's gone again? Yep.
Oh, at the exact same time
At the
as
exact same, yeah.
well.
So I think that does mean the event may end up getting cancelled
So we're able to run for about 30 minutes
before
before
it
it
crashes.
crashes. So the question is there potentially something wrong with one of the servers, the server files, or is it potentially a game issue? Is this something with Kunos or something with the actual servers? We're not quite sure. But that does actually rule out the possibility that it may have been a main server restart from Kunos. So yeah, it's a very good question as to what has happened there. We have I'm just having a look through. There were further further 5 incidents which had not actually been taken into effect. So it'd be interesting to see if there are any error logs or anything of the sort from GZR that can potentially be submitted over to Kunos to take a look at to see if they're able to fix this issue or point in the right direction. Or
Yeah,
yeah, this of course isn't where we wanted to go. It's not the way we wanted the race to go. But again, at the end of the day, things can happen. Everything can change.
indeed. And we know for a fact that the organisers, they are in contact with the Kunos devs, so they'll send off the logs for this, to try and find out what happens, and hopefully in the future we'll be past. Michael says apparently the server came up with 0 errors though, so that's so
Right.
bizarre. We
Okay.
have no clue what we were able to do. We've done a 3-hour Spa event. We did the Spa, the Kyalami 6 hours. We did the Silverstone 6 hours, and a Spa 12 hours, 0 crashes. Whereas this one, big crash. So that is really bizarre.
Hmm. And then I've just received a UE4 crash as well. Hmm.
So let's see if we can find out what's going on. I've asked Michael if it's going to be cancelled now. So pretty unfortunate that, isn't it?
That
And
is
Shinu's saying
not
not the
what we
best time
wanted to
to
see.
race on a free weekend. Yeah, that could be it. We've had a bunch of recent updates, which has fortunately brought nearly 4,000 people in the game. So I'm not sure if that's stressing out the Steam servers at all for the game, but a bit unfortunate. I'm not sure if it's going to be rescheduled or cancelled. But there we go. Michael said it being cancelled. That is unfortunate. So I think that draws that one to a close, John. Unfortunately. I mean, it means that we can come off early and I can go eat my tea. But I was really looking forward to that, and we did put a lot of work into preparing this, both ourselves and the organisers. So again, if you have appreciated it and want to give some back, a follow is the least that we ask for. Just a follow, or bring your friends on and all that. It's more than we can ask for. Don't know what else to say, to be honest, John. We've got Bugalug saying that a huge CPU spike happened. Meow asking will it be postponed or cancelled. I believe it's just straight up cancelled, unfortunately. So we have
No, we just had Boom just subscribed at tier 1. So
you, Boom.
Boom being an absolute legend there. You might need to change the order of the text. Well, not text, the stuff on screen there with the notification coming up behind the SideMax logo.
That's because our logo's more important, you see. Sorry about that.
Oh.
But thank you, by the way, Boom. Thank you, everybody who's leaving these subs. Thank you, Barack, as well. We've had Barack and Boom, B&B Racing. Thank you two for the subs. It's really appreciated. We have no clue what the issue is. It'll all be sent off to the developers for ACC. They'll look into it and most likely find out what was going on. And that's it, really. There's nothing else we can do. It happened at the exact same point again. We're getting some fantastic racing there as well, weren't we?
Indeed. Now, again, of course, it's just a case of finding out quite what happened. I'm just checking with Michael. The server is apparently still running, so there's a good question as to what's happening because there's no error logs as such. Question is, what is it this UE4 crash that we're getting, or what?
Hello,
so
guys.
this is of course just a case of finding that
So
out.
here
We
we
do
are,
now
we
have
have-
Michael in.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd come and apologise to you and thank you for the time you've put in and all the effort and work you've done on the stream. I thought all the work we did with the videos and all that at the start, the intro was just absolutely brilliant. Obviously, quite a few incidents in both races, so I didn't really get a great chance to listen to the actual race commentary. But from what I saw, you did a really good job, so thank you for that. No idea what these crashes are. I'm going to have to investigate these logs and I'm going to have to try and contact the devs and everything. I always send through the logs that we have from our endurance races, from Spa, Silverstone, Kyle, all of them. There's no error. The EXE for the server is still running. It's still on.
Yeah.
So if you were to go on the game, the server would probably still appear in the list. So I have literally not a clue what was going on because I was in the replay as well. I didn't get to see what the server widget was saying. So I'm not sure how we've gone from doing a successful 12-hour to crashing on a 4-hour. Obviously, the game version's changed a few times since then. So yeah, I just want to thank you for your time and apologise to you, to all the viewers, and especially to all the drivers who have worked hard to try and take part. For the time being, the race will be cancelled because we can't really reschedule because we need to try and find out what the issue is. There's no point rescheduling it for a week's time if we don't actually decipher what the cause is. So for the time being, this race will be cancelled, and maybe we'll reschedule it sometime later. But yeah, thanks again, guys.
Yep. So that was
Well, a
Michael.
big thank you as well for organising the race and putting in the time to, of course, do race control and make sure penalties and everything is done fairly or as fairly as possible. Because, of course, it is a big job just to try and make everyone happy. Because, again, at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy because everyone will have different opinions and different ideals on how something should be run.
Yeah, I think at least everyone tried. Big shout out to Voiter, because Voiter does a lot of the legwork for me when it comes to doing these events. So he probably deserves more praise than I do. So well done to him. But yeah, sorry again, guys. We'll just have to go and try and figure out what on earth to do because it's a baffling crash. It makes no sense.
Indeed.
Just one of those computer issues which you just don't know all
Well,
the time.
I think with
Well,
that, then we're just gonna
Time
have
to go play forensics.
yeah, we'll have to draw it to a close. And thank you to everybody who joined for the stream today. It's been a pleasure, commentating a little bit of racing we had. There was some fantastic racing going on as well, wasn't there? We really enjoyed it. If you haven't again already, be sure to leave us a follow. We will be streaming again next time on Monday for some public lobby commentary, so that's something that everybody can get involved in. And on Thursday we have another official race at Kyalami. So be sure to join us for
Are
that.
we also doing the Tuesday, or is
Not
that
anymore.
changed
Not
just to
anymore.
Monday?
To
Okay,
Monday, yeah. So again, thank you
that's
for
something we'll
everyone
have to change.
joining us today. Until then, we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.